What is homeopathy? Homeopathy was invented by Samuel Hahnemann, the German scholar and a doctor. And one day he questioned how the remedy works, how medicines work. So he tried to experience the effects of extract of cinchona bark, the medicine which was widely used to cure malaria, and experience its effects himself. So he swallowed the extract and he noticed that it produced the symptoms in him similar to those of the disease. And those symptoms were chills alternating with heat that would come and go at the same day. He would feel the dryness in the mouth, digestive discomfort, and loss of energy. And that gave him an idea of the law of similars. One of the basic laws that lay in the base of homeopathic philosophy. This law says that likes cures likes. What does it mean? Our body has an ability to remove the symptoms that were the reaction of the body to external pathogens. And by external pathogens, we understand anything which externally affects the body. It could be viruses, bacteria, chemical substances, and stress. If the symptoms are similar to the pre-existing pathological symptoms, then the pre-existing pathological symptoms will be removed as well. So pathogens effect on the body are like the pathological symptoms which person experienced. Well, let me give you an example. If the person had a chronic eczema and then he got infected with, for example, mumps, and his eczema looks pretty similar to those eruptions which are brought by mumps. So when mumps got healed, the eczema would disappear together with the skin eruptions of mumps itself. This is how homeopathy healing. It wakes the ability of the body to heal itself by aggravating its symptoms with the help of the similar substance. And that would help with healing of the chronic conditions. How homeopathy chooses the similar substance. First of all, it takes the totality of symptoms of a person. The totality of symptoms homeopathy considers in choosing the remedy is much more detailed than those considered by mainstream medicine. For example, if a person had a food poisoning and that would cause the following symptoms in him, it would cause nausea, vomiting, and diarrhea. The food poisoning would cause dehydration in his body, and that would bring the experience of dryness in the mouth, extreme thirst, and chilliness. And person would become restless. And if he feels very bad, at some point he would start questioning and he would recover it all. And what if, as a result of this illness, he would die? And that symptoms is mental symptoms. In homeopathy, it's called desperation of recovery, fear of death. So the substance which would heal the food poisoning effects would be arsenicum album. And arsenicum album is homeopathic remedy made with a very highly diluted poison arsenicum. And we all know its symptoms because as history describes, you remember Ekaterina Medici, who used to add arsenicum poisoning to the wines of his friend and enemies. and we know its symptoms very well. So it's diarrhea and vomiting and dehydration, and it brings chilliness and dryness in the mouth and a lot of digestive symptoms. So that's pretty similar to food poisoning. Now, the totality of symptoms we consider in homeopathy would be divided on multiple groups. So the symptoms which would be considered by mainstream medical doctors called local or specific. From our example, it would be nausea, vomiting, and diarrhea. The group of general symptoms is dryness in the mouth, thirst, and chilliness. And there is a group of mental symptoms to which fear of death or desperation of recovery, restlessness would belong. Let's review another example. For example, flu, and how we can select the totality of symptoms of the flu and choose the remedy for that. Normally, even though several people infected with the same virus would experience similar local specific symptoms like fever, cough, sore muscles, throat pain, and weakness, the general and mental symptoms were different. And one person would become so weak that every move he does really makes him really tired. And he would benefit from the homeopathic remedy called bryonia, which keynote symptoms would be aggravated with every movement. Another person, though, it has the same virus infection, the same fever and cough, he would become restless, extremely cold, very thirsty, and he would benefit from another homeopathic remedy called arsenicum album with the similar keynotes. Some people need a lot of comforting and sympathy and company, and other people would feel better if they left alone. So depending on those mental symptoms, the choice of the homeopathic remedy will be different. What's interesting about homeopathy for flu, we have an experience of using homeopathy for the influenza pandemic in Europe in previous century, which started in 1918 and was continued for 3 years and cut a lot of lives. And at the time, homeopathic practice was really widely spread in Europe, and we saw a lot of successfully treated cases with that. When homeopathy treatment for pandemic or epidemic, as we saw, different remedy could be used for different person. But overall, there are limited amount of remedy which would cover all the set of symptoms for all the people infected with the virus. So in the experience of pandemic, it was just 6 remedy identified which would cover all set of symptoms. But theoretically, only one remedy could exist which cover all possible symptoms of the epidemics, and that remedy is called genus epidemicus. And then, though homeopathy is very individual science, so every person needs his own individual remedy. In some cases, the remedy can be generic for the acute situation, epidemic or pandemic at the time. What I just described was the acute conditions treated with homeopathy, such as food poisoning or flu. But in our clinic, we can help to find a simulacrum of a person, the individual specific remedy, which would cover the total symptoms of the person, including his chronic condition, patterns of eating, sleeping, reactions to the weather, seasonal changes. That remedy is potentially can rebalance the level of the health of a person. In some cases, can help to get rid of the long-lasting chronic conditions. If you're interested, you can schedule our free consultation with a homeopath in our clinic remotely, and you can see the link to our schedule on our website. Thank you for being with us today, and I hope to talk to you soon.